So I'm going to show you how I make my books profitable in 90 days or less on Amazon KDP. And the thing is, you can do the same. It's actually not as hard as you think it is. Now, I know profitable book is a very broad term. $10 a month is profitable. Even $50 a month is profitable. But I'm not here to teach you how to make $10, $50, or even $100 a month. I'm here to teach you how to make $500, $700, $1,000. And even more than $1,000 a month in profit, not in revenue, in profit. Now, after publishing a bunch of books and also working with literally hundreds of clients, there's a formula that I figured out that can help you make profitable books on Amazon. Now, this formula is what Amazon looks at to see if it's going to help your book out. And this formula is based on creating your book. It's not about marketing your book. It's not about the research phase. It's all based on how you create your book. Now, in order to understand the formula, we need to understand the customer journey. So first of all, you're going to get an impression. What does an impression mean? An impression basically means your book popped up on someone's screen. Whether they looked at it or not, it doesn't matter. Your book still showed up on their screen. So you got an impression. Now, if they look at the book and they like it, then that impression is going to turn into a click because that customer is going to click on your book. Now, once your customer clicks on your book, they might click on your competitors' books and compare them between your one, but eventually they're going to buy. So they're going to convert. Convert means basically buy. We converted them from a click into a customer. And this is the basic formula for success. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you mess around with the clicks or you mess around with the conversion, then you can increase your sales. What do I mean by this? If you have 1,000 impressions, okay, these are your impressions. And then from those 1,000 impressions, they turn into 100 clicks. So these are your clicks. Now, out of the 100 people that clicked, if you have a 15% conversion rate, that means 15% of these clicks converted into customers. So you got 15 sales. Now, if you mess around with the clicks and you increase the amount of clicks that you get for every 1,000 impressions, so here, what percentage of impressions turn into clicks? Well, that's 10%. Because 10% of 1,000 is 100. If we mess around with the click-through rate, which is the amount of people that click on your book, instead of 10%, we make it 20%. Now we get 200 clicks. So now with 200 clicks, even if we don't mess around with our conversion rate, it's not going to be 15 anymore. It's going to be 30. Because 50% of 200 is 30. So we just doubled our sales by doubling our click-through rate, the amount of clicks that we get for every impression. Now, the same thing applies for your conversion rate. If you don't increase your clicks and you increase your conversion rate, again, you make more sales. If you either double this or you double this, you double your sales. You double your click-through rate, you double your sales. Double your conversion rate, you double your sales. So with that being said, we can understand that the most important thing that we can control that's going to help our book succeed is your click-through rate, which means what percentage of impressions turn into clicks, and your conversion rate, which means what percentage of the clicks turn into sales. Now, here's the thing. Amazon asks you for a bunch of things when you first upload your book, and each one of those things fits into the category of either your click-through rate or your conversion rate. What do I mean by this? When you upload your book on Amazon, the first thing it asks you is for your book title and subtitle. Now, your book title and subtitle, is that for your click-through rate or for your conversion rate? Well, people are going to see your subtitle in the search results. Once they search for a book in your niche and then your one pops up, they're going to read your title and then they're going to decide whether they want to click on your book or not. No one's going to buy your book based on the subtitle. So your title and subtitle are for your click-through rate. Now, then what is it going to ask you? It's going to ask you your author name, and then it's going to ask you for categories. Now, your categories, why is Amazon asking you for the categories? Because if Amazon knows what category your book is in, it knows exactly what your book is about, and it knows exactly who to show your book in front of. Now, if Amazon is showing your book in front of people, and it's showing it for relevant people, then those relevant people, when they see your book, they're going to want to click on it. So your categories are used to help your click-through rate. Now, once you go past the categories, when you're uploading your book, Amazon's going to ask you for your description. Well, I think the description might be before. It doesn't really matter, but Amazon's going to ask you for your description. Now, the description, does someone see it in the search results, or do they see it after they click on your book? Well, they see it after they click on your book. So if they already clicked on your book, then your description is not for your click-through rate because you already got the click, it's for your conversion rate. So your description is used to help convert that click into a sale. Now, once you scroll a little bit further down, Amazon's going to ask you for your 7 backend keywords. Now, these 7 backend keywords are just used to tell Amazon what your book is, who it's for, so Amazon knows where to show your book in order for you to get the what? In order for you to get the click. So your backend keywords are for your click-through rate. Because if you can show up in front of relevant people, then because they're already looking for your book, they're way more likely to click on it. Now, once you put all your keywords and everything, you can go on the second page, and then it's going to ask you for your book cover. Now, your book cover, are people going to see it after they click on your book or before they click on your book? Well, your book cover is going to show up in the search results when someone searches for something similar to your book. So because the book cover is used to get the click, it's used to get attention, it's used to say, oh, please click me, it's for your click-through rate. So your book cover is responsible for your click-through rate. Because the more attention your book cover creates, the more clicks you will get. If your book cover looks terrible, no one is going to click on a terrible book cover. No one's going to click on something that doesn't attract them. Now, once you upload your book cover, Amazon's going to ask you to upload the interior of your book, so the inside of your book. Now, it's very important that you did the formatting correctly, and maybe you have some nice images, and the writing is enjoyable to read, and all of that. You need to have a really high quality interior book, an actual good book. So is the interior of your book responsible for your conversion rate or for your click-through rate? Well, can someone see the inside of your book before they click on your book or after they click on your book? Well, it's after they click on your book. So since you already got the click, your book interior is for your conversion rate. Now, these are the things that Amazon asks. These are the basic things that Amazon asks when you upload your book. But once your book is uploaded, then after someone buys your book and then looks at the interior and all of that, and everything's great and they love your book, they're going to leave a review. Now, your review, is that for your click-through rate or for your conversion rate? A lot of people are going to say, oh, some people click on books with high reviews and some people don't. I agree, reviews are a small part of your click-through rate. If you have a couple of reviews, then you're more likely to get the click. But your reviews are more important for your conversion rate. Why? Because reviews have text in them, and that text is what convinces people to buy. So they can't read the text inside the reviews. They can't actually read the review unless they click on your book. So your reviews are for your conversion rate. Now, there's one final thing that you can do, and that's add A+ content. Now, A+ content, you can only see A+ content after you click on your book, which is why it's for your conversion rate. Now, if you put all the psychological triggers and you design it effectively, you use the correct copywriting, then A+ content is going to increase your conversion rate drastically. So these are the basic elements of a book. I know there's some more things like, oh, what price are you going to put your book? And what's the trim size and all of that? There's a bunch of little different things, but these are the main things you need to focus on. So why am I telling you this? Because if you can focus on the reason you're putting these things in your book, then you can make it as effective as possible for this. So your title and subtitle, if you're just thinking, oh, let me just put a title that I like, or let me just put a subtitle that I think is interesting, or let me put a mysterious title, well, then you need to think about, is this going to actually make people click? Because a person that clicks is a person that reads the title and they're like, oh, I know what this book is about. I'm interested in this book. I'm going to click on it. So will your title help increase your click-through rate? The categories. Are you giving Amazon the correct categories? Because if you give Amazon the correct categories, then Amazon knows where to show you in front of the people that are already looking for your book. And if they're already looking for your book, they're more likely to click on it. That's the only reason you put categories. Your back-end keywords, same thing, because Amazon's going to show you for those relevant keywords, which is going to increase your click-through rate. And then finally, your book cover. If you're going to go on Canva with zero design experience and just make a random cover, or you're going to go on Fiverr and pay someone $5 to make you the same cover he's made 100 other people, then people are going to be less likely to click on your book cover. Now, if you go pay a professional and they have all the design principles in place, they pick the color that matches the marketplace, you created a book cover that is appropriate for the marketplace or for the books that you're making, and it's professionally done and people want to click on it, then that will automatically increase your click-through rate. So now, once you have all of these in place, you know that you're getting a bunch of clicks. So you know the other thing that we talked about, impressions, then clicks, and then your conversion rate? You're trying to make this click section as big as possible. And this is how you make it as big as possible. But now that you're collecting as many clicks as you possibly can, it's time to have as many conversions as you possibly can. And how do you do that? By implementing this. So when you're writing your description, are you writing your description just to have a description? Or are you writing it in a way? Are you learning copywriting? Are you using phrases that your customers are using in their everyday life? So if I'm selling a skating book, I'm going to use skater language in the description to resonate with the audience. So are you writing your description in order to increase your conversion rate? Are you writing it to sell your book? Are you trying to show the value of your book to your customer? Because that's what every single one of these things is doing. To increase your conversion rate, you need to increase the value of your book. So if I try and sell your book right now, and it's a book on how to make $10,000 a month, and I'm only asking you to pay $20 for it, would you buy it? You probably would, because you give $20 and you get a skill that makes you $10,000 a month. So you give 20 and you get 10,000 every single month. That's a very valuable book. And because it's valuable, it's very easy for you to give the $20. So you need to write your description in a way that conveys the value of your your book. Now, the interior of your book, what's so important about that? Well, the interior of your book is basically just the way the ghostwriter wrote everything inside the book. Is it easy to read? Is it enjoyable to read? And then also your formatting. So your formatting is the way the text is displayed. Is it all nice and neat? Again, is it easy to read? Is it enjoyable to read? Your interior is so important for your conversion rate, because if everyone else in your niche is doing black and white books and you're doing a colored book, then you automatically have a more valuable book. You can charge more for it if people are willing to buy it for that price that you're charging. But because it's colored interior, you stand out from your competitors. And if you stand out from your competitors, then your conversion rate is higher. Obviously, you have to stand out in a good way, not a bad way. So if your interior is professionally formatted and it's enjoyable to read and gives you a great reader experience, then when people read your book, they're going to like it so much they're going to leave a review. And also when they go in the look inside feature or the read sample feature now, they can go in and see what it looks like. And if they like what it looks like, they're more likely to buy it. Now, once they buy and they read it and they actually really enjoy it because you have a high quality book, they're going to leave positive reviews. Now, once they leave the positive reviews, that's going to increase your conversion rate. Why is it going to increase your conversion rate? Because people trust other people more than they trust you. You're trying to sell a book. You're trying to make money. Everyone else already bought the book. They already gave you the money. And now they're telling other people, yes, this book was worth it. No, this book wasn't worth it. So someone getting ready to buy the book, they want to see someone else's previous experience. Did they like it? Was it enjoyable? Was the money worth it? Now, if the people are saying yes, then that gives the new people that are trying to buy your book more confidence that this is the book for them, which means you make more sales, which means your conversion rate increases. So the more positive reviews you have, the higher your conversion rate is going to be. And now finally, your A+ content. Your A+ content is a completely separate video. I can't go too in depth in it, but if you can use psychological triggers, if you can learn copywriting, if you understand design, then your A+ content is going to be so effective. You can increase your conversion rate by 10, 15, 18%, and you can start making a bunch more sales if you do the A+ content correctly. I know some people are like, oh, Barry, I have a good book cover and I have A+ content and I have some reviews. Why is my book not selling? Yes, you might have a book cover and you might have reviews and you might have A+ content, but how effective is your book cover? What are the reviews talking about? What are they saying about your book? How effective is your A+ content? It's not just about having A+ content, it's about how effective it is. I can have a girlfriend, but if that girlfriend's sleeping with a different guy every night and I have no idea, not a very good girlfriend, is it? I wouldn't even count myself as having a girlfriend. So it's all about how effective it is. So now we know how to increase our click-through rate as much as possible and how to increase our conversion rate as much as possible. That way, if both of these are super high, then Amazon deems your book relevant. And if Amazon deems your book relevant, it starts to promote you more and more. The algorithm picks up your book like that, and you start making a bunch of money in 90 days or less. Now, there's actually something I like to call the triangle of success. Now, you already know the 2 points of the triangle, which is your click-through rate and your conversion rate. But these two will give your book the potential to make thousands of dollars a month in profit. But there's one final thing that's going to help you make a bunch more money. If you don't have this, you can still make a little bit of money, but once you implement this thing here, you make a bunch of money, and that's ads. I know this has nothing to do with the publication of your book, but these two are about making a quality book that your customer actually wants to buy, and then your ads are just going to fuel this even more. It's just going to help this grow bigger and bigger. And if these grow bigger and bigger, then you make more and more money. This is a triangle of success. But anyway, ads is a completely separate video, so let's just leave it at that. But your click-through rate and your conversion rate, the most important thing on Amazon. Make sure every single thing that you're doing is to have the highest click-through rate possible, and then make sure everything you're doing over here is to have the highest conversion rate possible. If you have a high click-through rate and you have a high conversion rate, then everything else is so much easier on Amazon. Now, the last thing I'm going to leave you with is always focus on the customer. When you're trying to increase your click-through rate, focus on the customer. Is this title or subtitle appropriate for the customer? Is the customer going to like it? Maybe you're using wording that the customer likes in your title or subtitle. These, the keywords that you're going to give them, the categories and the keywords, they have to be relevant. Your book cover. Are you using the correct fonts for your customer? If you're doing a book for adults, you're not going to use a kid-friendly font because you're not trying to attract kids. You're trying to attract adults. If you're trying to attract kids, then you're not going to use boring colors like brown unless it's appropriate for your niche. But if you're making a kid's book, you're probably going to use bright, colorful colors. You're going to use friendly fonts. You're going to use friendly illustrations. Make your book cover appropriate for your audience. And all of these over here are for your customer as well. Your A+ content. Make sure you're talking directly to your customer. Make sure you're showing the value of your book through your A+ content to make the customer more likely to buy it. Make sure your interior is formatted correctly for the best customer experience. Make sure your description is written in a way that conveys value. that people can read it and say, yes, I would much rather have this book than my $20. So they give you the $20 and you give them the book. So it's all about your customer. Never forget about your customer. Everything you do on KDP should be based on if the customer is likely to buy it or not. It's all about making a book for your customer. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. A playlist just popped up somewhere here. Click on that playlist. There's a bunch of KDP videos on there. They're going to help you make a bunch more money. And yeah, good luck with your KDP journey.